We were losing a lot of money. We were having a lot of arguments. I'm sharing what I'm sharing is because we were able to go from zero, achieve this success because we found a target that we were headed towards. I believe in profits and purpose. I believe in revenue and redemption. If he wants us to move, he'll make us move. Your product has a market to fit in. The one thing that you are planning to do, build in public, 100%. Not every single person is your customer because a lot of times we think that we can sell everything. That's probably the most important question of the day. With that all being said, thank you, Inspire Collective, for allowing me to speak today. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to help and serve everyone that's here. You guys heard in my bio that came from humble beginnings, but I think we all have. We all live in Hawaii. Hawaii is a humble beginning in general, right? It's the most expensive place to live. Minimum wage is lower here than in and out in California. So there's a lot of things that are already going against us, right? We swim against the current. And how much of you agree to that? Only a few, right? I would think so, right? We're always swimming against the current. So before I talk today, I want to ask everyone in the room, a show of hands, who here owns a business? Okay, it's a great hands. How many of you live off of your business? Okay, so it's a good amount. Now, I'm also going to ask at the levels. So we're going to start low, right? And this is very important for what we're going to talk about because there's different phases in business. There's the startup phase. There's the I need to launch phase. There's the growth phase, the deliverable phase. Then there's the scaling phase. Scaling happens way later, right? So before I continue, I need to understand the room that I'm in. So businesses over 250,000. Okay. So that means that right now, it seems like a lot of the businesses are under 250,000. Can we all agree? Okay. So this conversation, we're not going to go that much higher than $1 million business because I think the goal today is for us to gain tools because that means that if we're doing under 250 or under $500,000, we're probably still the owner operator, right? And so because we're the owner operator, we eventually want to get out of owner operating and being able to manage, right? To captain the ship rather than constantly pulling the sails, throwing the rope out on the harbor, right? Mopping the floors, which is all things that captains do anyway. But this conversation, I think, is going to be really fun for all of us. And it's also the reason why co-host, partner back there, Richie, I and Mario, we started this podcast. Normally, when I get on stage, I like to go, hey guys, I'm going to share a story about myself, and then we're going to go through this whole thing. But I think the story in the room today is that we are all kind of still in the startup phase. And that's okay, right? It's okay because you don't get to space unless you launch off the ground. And so it's okay. But we started this podcast because we saw a need in Hawaii. We saw a need in the world, but we live in Hawaii and we love our people. And that need is people need the right tools. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't build a house without the right tools. I don't care how many nails you got. Unless you got a hammer, it's going to hurt your fist. And so we need the right tools to do these simple things. And I hope today in the talk that I have with you all, we're going to have some really cool tools that you guys can take home. And the next time we meet, you can share your exciting stories of how you are constantly growing, on how now your rocket ship isn't just a model, but it has gas in it. And how now we have a dashboard where we actually know where we're going to go in space. Because a lot of times, how many of us here know exactly where you are going? Exactly, right? And that's the point that I'm trying to get at, is sometimes we shoot arrows with no target. So we are going to continue because this is going to be a very special day because I'm going to bring up a lot of people today because we're doing a podcast live, by the way, if you didn't know. So we started Tool Room. It's a podcast, but we're doing a podcast live. As you can tell, I got a necklace of mics on, so we're going to rock and roll. But before I move forward, I want to share with you guys a little bit of why I believe that I may be qualified to talk to you folks. These are some key expertise. This slide that I'm actually showing you is a slide that I send out to business owners and sellers and brokers when I'm looking at buying or acquiring companies or consulting with people. This first part of the slide, it's called the CEO Res. I show my key expertise of what I'm going to be, where I qualify in the process, right? So these are some key expertise that I have. Akamai Global is that company that I'm talking to you about. Our company at Akamai Global our goal is to keep Hawaii local, right? And what does that mean? Well, in Akamai Global, which is a PE firm and a consulting firm, our goal is to get people to become entrepreneurs through acquisitions, give people investment opportunities that don't have none, right? Now you can hear that, there's these syndicates and stuff. That's not what we do. Our goal is to put you in the seats of leadership, right? And to earn that way. So that's one of the businesses I have. Then I have some B2Bs, as you heard from this Titan Group, which is a holding company. These are some other companies that I've put together. And really what they are, I'm going to let everybody know, they're just systems. These are department grade companies, right? In every company right here, how many people have somebody to recruit? An HR department, you need one, right? How many people have marketing? You need one, right? How many people have sales? Well, without sales, you got no business, right? And so you need one. So what I did was, because I wanted to help people eradicate poverty, create a world of opportunity, I thought, well, I needed to create the tools and the systems so that I could then have a resource for everybody to fly in their rocket ship. And this is New Auto. So this one was the one that I won my awards in. It's kind of a cool thing. And the reason why it was pretty cool is we started this company in 2020, February 14th, 2020. I know the exact day, right? We started a brick and mortar company. And what I'm going to share with you today and why this is super cool for me is I know absolutely nothing about the automotive industry. Absolutely nothing about it, right? My wife changes my oil. All right. So, and I own a shop, but I didn't know anything, right? How it started was we were flipping cars in my garage. And then it was like, let's do a dealership. It was like, too much red tape. Let's just go do a repair shop, show the quality of service that we give everybody. And then when we get a dealership, they won't think that we're sleazy salesmen. They'll think that, hey, these guys actually know how to repair a vehicle, right? And that was the start of it. But then 2020 happened. There was this thing called COVID, right? Everybody got locked down. By the grace of God, we were essential. And so we were able to continue, but we were losing a lot of money. We were having a lot of arguments because we were in a pandemic and we had no idea what we were doing. However, there was a lot of things that happened in this process. And the reason why I'm sharing what I'm sharing is because we were able to go from zero. I'm talking scratch. I'm talking cement trucks in March, putting cement so that we had the right cement grade so that we can put up the lifts to hold the vehicles. And that alone is a process in itself, right? And we were doing that in March of 2020 when President Trump shut the world down. It was very hard to get cement at this time. Very hard, right? Then we were losing and bleeding tens and tens upon thousands of dollars every month just to survive. And we didn't know what we were doing, running around with our heads cut off. So how did we achieve this success? Because we had systems, because we found a target that we were headed towards, and we created the systems to get there. And I hope today I can share with you the importance of systems, right? And the importance of your story and the importance of support. And that's what I hope to share with you guys today. These are tools that I'm going to reveal, and there's tools that I think we have a lot of experts out here as well that may have tools. And we have a lot of people that are owner operators that may need tools. So on Tool Room Live, our goal is to give tools, regardless if it comes from me or it comes from the other expert. We share tools here, okay? But super cool award. I was super stoked. And then we went back to back. And then this award right here was the first national award that a repair shop won. Some company in Big Island was trying to win it for 10 years. In our first year, we got it. And not because we were a great shop, but it's because we cared. We cared about our people. So this award, which is very cool for us, is an award that it's the brown one, but it's the award that it was that we gave great service. So this is, I hope you're taking this because this is stuff that's going to help you. This is how I won the award. We gave great service. We thought about our customers. We had good marketing systems. We had a great return, and our repair shop was the best on the island. So you needed this entire ecosystem in order to win an award like that. And it was the Service Center of the Year award. So very grateful. This was the team. This right here was the team that won the award. And this is me giving you guys success in business is not just about profitability, but about creating value and making a positive impact. This is my family. This is why I do everything. Faith and family is important to me. I could lose all the money in the world. I could lose all the success, the accolades, the status. And as long as I have their love, it's all that matters. And I hope that it's the same for all of us as well, because we're all in here to get business, right? We're all in here to scale, to grow, to get that nice car, who knows? But this is important because on that journey to win those awards, I didn't spend no time with my family. I worked 24/7 for 3 years. From 2020 to 2022, when I removed myself and became just an angel investor of the company, I did not see them at all. I slaved to get where I am today. And then I would give it all up because these guys are important. So that's facts. All right. Now, I'm probably going to leave this up here for you guys. And it's just subscribe to our podcast on the Tour Room Live. Before I call everyone up, the Inspire Collective team helped me put these slides together. I had a PDF deck, I had a slide deck, and what happened was it needed to be turned from a PDF or a PPT into a JPEG. And that takes time because every slide, there's 74 slides here because this is a slide that I use in consultation, but I'm going to skim through it just so that you guys get to enjoy all the very bunched up words of this. But this is literally an entire operating system for you to go from zero to hero. And that's pretty much the slide. Okay, so now you guys got to see it. So I was able to present it all to you. All right, there's a lot of key points in here, and there's a lot of things that we use in here that could definitely help. But after my conversation with everybody here, we're under 500,000. So let's talk to you. And I think that there's a lot of people that have gotten above that may be able to give us some other tools as well. But the goal today is for you to take something that is practical and that you can use when you leave this room. Are we all ready for it? Awesome. I know there's like standing podcasts maybe, but I think like sitting podcasts are a lot more comfortable. So let's rock and roll. How do I? Well, in your business right now, you guys are trying to solve a bunch of problems, correct? There's a lot of things that we're trying to figure out. I would like you to ask, what is the one how do I that you would love answered today? And then I have a second mic here that we're going to pass around. And then I'm going to choose one person from a table briefly, right? Because I have like 40 minutes here. So we're going to choose people from a table briefly. And then we're going to pull your how do I. And then we're going to go and do an issue processing. And we're going to go and figure out how to solve that problem today. Because I think we need the tools and we need some answers, right? I can share up here a bunch of things that you need: your story, your systems, your support, your vision, your intent, your purpose, right? You need to have analytics with insight. I can give you all this information, but it may go over your head. So let's solve your problem today. Do we want that? Or do we want me to just talk? Because I love talking. Yeah, let's solve your problem. So who right now has a how do I written? Anybody? Everybody's got it? There we go. My man, Joe.
Yeah. So I'm a chaplain in the military, no business experience. I'm here just to see how God is moving in the marketplace.
Beautiful.
And one of the insights I would love for you to speak to is, how do you go from, let's say you have a successful business or you're starting a business, but how do you pivot, or do you have a system in place that's like, this is how my business is practically impacting the kingdom of God? More specifically, how is my business hopefully putting people into eternity So how is this an eternal asset, not just a financial asset for you? And if you could speak to that, it's like, that's a big question, but maybe something you've seen or ways for business owners to think about that.
Thank you. That's probably the most important question of the day, to be honest. To me, I call it the contribution engine, right? I believe in purpose and I believe in profits and purpose. I believe in revenue and redemption. How does business further God's kingdom? I believe that God is sovereign and God controls all. If he wants us to move, he'll make us move, right? But he also calls us to be obedient and faithful, to trust in him in our movements. And so we all are employees. And if we're, and not all, but we are. Actually, you know what? We all are employees because our clients are our bosses. So we're all employees, right? And in business, whether you're at the top or at the bottom, in Ephesians, God clearly talks about us stewarding this authority, right? And so what we hope to achieve here and in business ministry is by being the light no matter where we are. So if I work someplace where I have a tyrannical person, right? That person is going to be selfish. His principles are going to be self-centered, right? His goals are going to be me, mine, or he may be a good-hearted person, but then leading towards something that he still feels is right. I think when you have leaders that believe in, when you have leaders that know that everything that they have is to be stored, then that means that I believe that every decision that we make is not for us, for him. And so in business, how do I be faithful to God in my business ministry or as a leader? What would God do? How would God serve? That's how I look at it, is do I know the voice of God? Am I reading in my word? Am I praying? Am I giving grace and kindness rather than a hammer? Somebody might need to get fired, but did I go through that process with them? Did I talk to them? Did I give them the tools? Did I take extreme ownership of what I have done first? And that's the thing that when I think when God is in us, he reminds us, the Holy Spirit convicts us. So we know when it's selfish intent or when it's not, right? We know when it's for my own agenda and not his. We seek our glory a lot of times, right? We want to be, yep, I did it. You know, and a lot of times that the loudest person in the room is not the smartest person in the room. You've heard that. And it's because that person is trying so hard to get in front, right? And it just comes down to the basic of human nature that we're all in depravity and that we are all sinners and that we have this flesh. God has saved us. However, we have this flesh and we make horrible decisions at times. But your employees are also that. Your clients are also that. So your light is important in a dark world. Just like in this right here. Yes, we're at a church right now, but it's not that we're at a church right now. It's that the church actually was graceful enough to allow us to use this awesome space. Right now, maybe there's people that know God. Maybe there's people that don't hear. And I don't know. Right? Some of us might say we know God and we really still might not. It depends on our heart. But we're all here today to learn something about business. Right? And I've heard this story from Bill. And the story I heard from Bill today was pretty cool. He said about, was it 30 years ago? You talked to this, you had a friend for 30 years or something? Right? So Bill had a friend for 30 years, you know, probably doesn't go to church or whatever. Not that it's supposed to be evangelical or whatnot, but maybe it is. But Bill was just like, hey, come to this event. It's a cool business event. This guy comes to the event. It was at Hawaii Prince. It wasn't here. Comes to this event. And this is what's the beautiful thing. He's like, who are these people? Who are these guys? There's nothing different. Nobody's on stage saying, you know, praise Jesus. Like, it's just like, who are these happy people? Who are these people that are connecting? Who are these people that are like joyfully giving? Like, who are these guys? That's light to me. That's light. And so I hope that anytime I speak on stage or anytime I talk to you one-on-one, And I hope all of us is like this, is are we glorifying God or ourselves? And I think as leaders in business, I think that's the most important question we need to ask ourselves. Are we serving God or ourselves? And what is my system for that? Reading the Bible and praying and supplication for all the saints. That's how. To make sure that my sword, which is the Spirit, sword of the Spirit, is being sharpened. Making sure that I have the armor of God on at all times. There's a system, right? That's my system. Did I answer your question, Joe?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a really encouraging just vision as an outsider kind of coming in. Seeing a bunch of people who love Jesus, who have, your different places in your business, but I envision this future, all these people that love the Lord and don't just view it as, it's just my business. It's like, this is an asset for the kingdom of God, and how can I strategically make it such? And so it's like a whole mind shift that I appreciate you speaking to. Thank you.
Praise God. Hallelujah. Thank you for asking the question. Or thank you for listening. All right. Well, that was the first how do I. Now we know where we're at. Did it help everybody else though? Did it give you some insight or at least some affirmation, right? Confirmation in however you lead, right? But yeah, let's go here, this table. There, anybody? How do I? Yeah.
How you doing, Sage? My name is Derek.
Hey, what's up, Derek? Hey, can you come up on stage real quick? I was gonna bring Joe, but then I got into just the answering, and I was like, yeah, thank you. I think the camera lost me. Hello. What else?
Okay, here's a question. So I am a business owner. Overlap is a marketing agency. We have scale. With AI adoption, a lot of opportunities out there right now where anybody in this room, like ourselves, including ourselves, can be in the game for that market. And we are building things ourselves. So my question, how would Sage take what we're building internally for ourselves in this market, and what would Sage, or how would Sage start up that new company? And I'll give you more specifics. AI service for, we'll say, property management companies. Internal team work, save time with the weekly, monthly, mundane SEO audits to reports and analytics. So I'm just kind of saying.
So it's an AI tool. It's an AI tool that we want to.
So we're using that for our company.
Right.
But we want to stand up, start a new business. Maybe there are a few of you in here that want to start a business right now, or is just in the process of getting your LLC. So I kind of want to hear Sage's first 90 days of standing that up.
What have you done so far?
We built a product.
So you have the product, but it's hanging out on the shelf.
That we are using internally, that we know has value in the marketplace, because we're executing on that.
So we already have product market fit, right? And for everybody else that doesn't know what product market fit is, it is ensuring that your product has a market to fit in and ensuring that there are people that are interested in what you have, right? How many people in here is interested in a newspaper? Exactly, right? So the product market fit is a few of us, right? Maybe. So a newspaper right now ain't what's up, which is why you now have blogs and a ton of other things, right? Digital content. So he already has product market fit. He has an audience that he has shared it with, right? So you have a market that you are sharing this with, and they've already responded. So another way is to go and get feedback. All you need to do is send it out, test it, and get feedback. What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? How was the service? Was it efficient? How long did it take for you to figure it out? Is it way too much overload for you in the beginning? Is there an onboarding process? Do I know what I'm getting involved in? These are all things that we ask ourselves when we're building. What do you think it's going to be for the next person that gets it? Right? To my point, you go into your vehicle right now and you have an entire SOP of how to use that vehicle in there right now. Do you use it? How many of you have looked at it? Exactly. But we have the systems and the SOPs already readily available. It's already showcasing to us what we need.
So you're saying, go get feedback.
You already got it though.
So are you doing it for free or are you charging?
No, you already got the feedback. For free, send it out. Yeah. Or charge. You can have a very small paywall, dependent. I mean, if you're using the system, you're technically are Charge it to your customers already. Add it as an extra thing, or you're already charging for it because you're taking their payment, and what it's doing is it's creating efficiency for you to increase your margins. Is that what it's doing currently? So you're getting paid for it. You're making a profit. And you've done the reviews and the feedback. Okay, so now we want to get to answer your question. I just wanted to share with the PMF because I think that's a tool that everybody should understand. So you already have product market fit within your nucleus. So now what we need to do is we need to expand that nucleus, right? And so my question to you, because I know you own a marketing company, is the one thing that you are planning to do, and I'll share if that is something that Sage would do.
What am I planning to do?
How are you going to market with this product?
So just like it's just a new company that's niche for this type of that we have for a certain, so we'll just say property management companies. So that would be our personas, we would only speak to those, we would go reach out to those, whether it's in our network, our current clients, and then, market to them. Just going in market.
Right. So if I was to start a new AI company.
There we go. That's what I'm going. That's what because I don't want to take up all the time because it's not.
No, but I think it's fine. It is what it is. So if I was to start a new AI company, actually, I think somebody here has an AI company. Who has an AI company? Is he here today, Matt? No.
Anybody building an AI service product in the marketplace?
Have you launched already, Peter? So we're in this boat right here, right? Okay. Build in public, 100%. Build in public. You want to know what I would do? That's why we have the tool room live, because we're building in public. We did a BTS today talking about magnetic marketing strategies live, like literally letting them know, like, we don't even know who you are that we're talking to, right? And we're building in public. So when it comes to the tech world, a lot of times what I like to do is I like to go where the pros are at. And guess what? If I go where the pros are at in the tech world, they're not hanging out on Instagram or Facebook. I'll tell you exactly where they're hanging out. They're hanging out on X. That's where they're hanging out. They're hanging out on LinkedIn. They're building there. They're showcasing there because that's their people. They're in the tech forum. They actually might not even be on X. They might just be on yelling in Reddit, not even on Reddit. They might just be on GitHub. Who knows? But you go where they're at. Okay. So build in public. Why do I say that? Well, how much of us are skeptical when we feel that there's a new product? How much believe that it'll work? None of us, hardly any of us, super skeptical. But then how do you know it works? Why did you start getting ChatGPT? Because you saw somebody else use it and they showcased what happened. You're like, whoa. And then you went and tried it. And then do you offer a free lead magnet? Like, do they get to use the tool for free for 30 days? So build in public, showcase exactly what it is that it does. What's the one problem that it solves? And then keep building in public. Claude, Cursor. How did Cursor get blown up? Because they were building in public. They were showing you what it's able to do. If you're familiar with Cursor, N8N. N8N is a workflow processing that connects AIs, MCPs, and etc. So what is that? Well, it's a Zapier that is for AI, that connects through AI. So it's another tool, but how did they get big? They built in public. So I think right now for overlap, I think it would be super cool for you guys to build this new tech in public, meaning just constantly showcasing it, being transparent in the bugs that you are fixing so that people will know that this guy's really working hard on this MVP to make sure it's a viable quality product that will solve their problem. And that's what I would do. The immediate, you already have the product market fit, so you know that you'll gain an audience, so build in public. Build in public. You already know how to do the other marketing stuff. You just need to build in public and have the CTA go to your free entry, right? If you go to, how many of you ever use like Lovable.ai, right? Lovable.ai. You go to lovable.ai. It's like, build me a website or an application that does X, Y, or Z, correct? And then what happens? It pops up. It says, hey, you want to sign up for free, whatever. You go in and then it builds out the whole thing. It shows you right there within 5 minutes. You've already seen if the product is viable or not. In the tech world, it's all about speed. Speed is king. I would build in public.
Build, get feedback,
Yeah.
find and understand your product, market fit, and then off to the races, building public.
So then, yes,
I was just recapping.
bro. Damn, we make a good team.
I mean,
Bro, welcome to the tool room.
thank you.
I want to help you. I truly, there you go. My man.
As well as the same barber is going to be, I don't know if this is well, I guess it is a business question, but my personality, I think God gifted me with the ability to talk to anybody about anything and I go like 10,000 miles an hour. But what I've come across with meeting some new entrepreneurs is how do I connect at the heart? How can I get them to see the real them and not maybe what prejudice or what other, not, that might be a bad word, what other things are coming up for people? Like, have you had people where like, you know, they don't, I just want people to see the real Ben, that I do care for them. And, you know, even though I'm moving fast, I do care, I want to collaborate, I want to help them lift their businesses up too, but I seem like someone who's coming against the, you know, smile and then I never hear from them, they go to witness protection, or I just want to know how can I mean, I think I'm being genuine, but at the same time, there might be some things that I'm missing out on because I'm in it.
Right.
You know?
What do you do?
That's a great question. So I started out, a lot of people here from BNI know me from Legal Shield and ID Shield, do legal plans and cybersecurity for business owners.
Nice.
But really we started to create an incubator where we want to bring value to locals and not diminish the quality, but cut the cost in half because
Right.
it's hard enough just to live here. So we started to find a new medical insurance for entrepreneurs that saves them 70%, and then some other things that we do.
So let's rephrase just for time's sake, so everybody has the clarity of it. Rephrase the how do I in one sentence.
How do I connect at the heart with someone I meet, a client or a business owner?
Be you. Be you. How else would you connect? Be you, right? And then you say they might go witness protection. Then my other question would be, well, why are you forcing yourself upon these people that don't want your help, right? There's a lot of times where, you know, we could go and plant seeds, but if it's a rock or thorns or weeds, then it ain't gonna grow.
Right.
So you gotta go make sure that you plant it in good soil, right? So there might be some rocks and weeds out there that might not be ready for Ben today. Yeah, but just be you and have faith in the Lord, or, you know, that wherever path you are headed to, God's there. You know what's funny is God gives us this lamp and it only shines a couple of steps. It never gives us the Magnum. Like, I want the Magnum, man. You know, I want the lighthouse. But it never gives us that.
No.
Because God's in control, not us.
Right.
So he lights the foot, he lights our feet, so trust in it. And if there's somebody that you meet, is it for you or is it for, you know what I mean? So if they run away, then bro, it is what it is, right? And if there's somebody for you to help, then that one person will gather and will understand that you care. I want everybody to know this tool. Not every single person is your customer. Okay? I mean, for real. That's very important. Because a lot of times we think that we can sell everything to everyone. And what I have learned in business and just in life, I can show you the water, but not everybody drinks it. And that's, unfortunately, if I try to force you to drink it, I'll get arrested for trying to drown you.
No, you're right. You're right, because the military wants to save everybody.
Do so by loving them and praying for them if you want that answer, but that would be the sage answer. Be you.
So the second part.
But real quick, gotta be fast. I got 1 minute.
How do I know it's of God and not
Read.
downstairs?
Read. Read the word. Pray. Find his voice. How do you know his voice? Right? He says the good shepherd says that my lamp, my sheep know my voice. How do you know his voice, right? And you also got to separate the Ben voice. You know how much Sage voices is in this head? You know, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
But how do you know his voice? It's like anything, right? Like, how do you know anything that you know in the business that you're in? You study it, you read it, you learn it, you do it, right? I talked about SOPs earlier. This is going to be the last tool I give you, and it's probably one of the most important. It's called a standard operating procedure, okay? Do the thing very well. Find out all the nuances in it. And then document. We are documenting live right now. And then, because I don't have any more time, figure out a way to delegate it so that all of these owner-operators are now at the atmospheric level. That's for Richie, because I said it on the pod. But at the atmospheric level, you're able to now look at a bird-eye view and then move the ship where they need to go. And that's how you flow. So thank you, Inspired Collective, for this time. Thank you for your questions. I hope that it helped you, and I hope that you took one thing today that will get you one step further in your life and your business. Thank you very much.